Good morning, everyone. How are you? Great to see you, audience here across the world. Actually, we were not expecting this many audience. I was just asking myself how many people are gonna be in our presentations. So, first of all, thank you very much for being here. As you know, we all are here with the aim in our mind to prepare our learners for lifelong journey. We want them to enable to articulate ideas, develop understandings, and engage uh, with other through the spoken and listening. As we know that communication is the most valuable and the most demanding and the most demanding skill by the employers. So it should be our objective, and that is the desire of employers. We should see through the future perspectives, and we should give our learners a life skill, and we should see to the future perspective. We all are here to learn from each other. I'm not here to teach anyone, but beside this, we are to all learn from each other. We will consistently hold such types of events and online learning to upskill ourselves by sharing resources, tips, and best practice. Uh, Now, come to the content. Let's have a look what we are going to do today. We will talk about the oracy skill. What is that? Then the two strategies, which skills we can develop through these strategies. Furthermore, the implement of these approaches in a classroom setting. Uh, After that, then you turn to share your experience and feedbacks on my presentation, and that should be obviously good. Definitely, you don't need to worry. You will also have the opportunity to speak. Now come to our main topic, that is the oracy skill. Oracy skill is a combination of listening and speaking skill. Uh, it's a range of speaking and listening skill, but behavior and language necessary. Which language, which behavior uh, is necessary for this skill, this type of skill. You may see here, it includes physical, linguistic, cognitive, and social and emotional aspects of learning. It is a vital tool to teach our students to become more effective speakers and listeners. And I think that the schools are the place where we prepare our students for life skills. The biggest barrier to the students we teach uh, is to get them ready for the live communication skills. You are seeing here that the physical, linguistic, and cognitive and social emotional skills, the working with others, listening and responding, confidence in speaking, and audience awareness. At what type of audience we are talking to, and we are talking about. Cognitive skills that include the reasoning, critical thinking, um, and linguistic. Definitely, it's all about the language, linguistic registers, grammar, and vocabulary. In physical skills, gestures and posture, how to stand in front of the audience and can get the eye contact. The biggest barrier, as I said, that the students to teach them listening and speaking, and it not only depend on speaking. The communication skill is not depend on the speaking. We need to elevate listening as a very level of reading and writing. Unfortunately, listening is given less important than speaking, although it is the most essential skill to acquire to learn a language. Um, just think about it. What happened if a child is born deaf? If a child is born deaf, what happened to them? So he's unable to speak. If he is deaf though, he's not a dumb. But as he doesn't listen to anything, he does not acquire any language. So what we are is almost depend upon where we are, where we live. Our tone, our accent, our way of speaking reflect us. It tells itself that from where we are, from where we belong to. So Listening is also very important. It play a very essential role that is the most neglected skills. I must say that it is the most neglected skills. We have the two strategies in listening. Number one is bottom up, and the second is the top down. So let's see what is the bottom up. Bottom up teaching starts with the small details like vocabulary, words, sounds, the step-by-step process of solving, like an mathematical problems. It's for definitely. It's bottom up is for beginner listeners. Uh, it tells about sound and the word by word understanding over the learner, and it needs a great amount of conscious attentions or small chunks of information. Actually, the bottom up strategies are dated from the sound, then to word, then to sentence, and then to a paragraph, you can say. But these strategies, I must say, that the bottom up and the top down strategies are not only for teaching or teaching listening and speaking, but is also relate to other disciplines like business and management, that they all have bottom up and top down strategies. Bottom up from below to up, from root to the flower. Now come to top down strategies. It's for higher level. It involves starting with the big or big picture, abstract concept, and working down to the specific details. Here we are able to understand at least the gist of what is said. It is not only the linguistic knowledge that enable us to understand the lecture, uh, like just like that, and mathematician is speaking on the advanced algebra may not be readily understood by a non-specialist. That means we don't have the required schemata the required schemata uh, is the knowledge about a ground. That means if I tell you that you are in a class, so um, your mind tell you the what is the class. It has some desk, blackboard, or whiteboard, and there are students in class. So the schemata is prepared in our mind, the cognitive skills, you can say it. So the previous knowledge, that means we don't have the required schemata or previous knowledge for the lecture that we are attending. It is not just about all the language or linguistics or the linguistics or vocabulary that we know. It will be like all gibberish. In top down, the use of background knowledge, understanding the meaning of a message is necessary. I'm going to show your text. After reading the text, I don't think that you could be able to infer what is it. Sally first tried setting loose a team of gophers. The plan backfired when a dog chased them away. She then entertained a group of teenagers and was delighted when they brought their motorcycles. Unfortunately, she failed to find a peeping Tom listed in the yellow pages. Furthermore, her stereo system was not loud enough. The crab cross might have worked, but she didn't have a fan that was sufficiently powerful. She sorry, thought about calling a door-to-door salesman, but decided to hang up a clothesline instead. It was the installation of blinking neon lights across the street that did the trick. She eventually framed the ad from the classified section. Did you understand about what it is? Do you have any idea? No, no, it is not about that. It is about the getting rid of a troublesome neighbor. Now, I think you have the idea. Now read the paragraph again. It is all crystal clear for you that Sally tried to getting rid of the trouble neighbor. So she tried hard uh, and did some backfired plans backfired when a dog chased them away. So it is now clear that what she is planning. And when we didn't know about what is the topic and what they are talking about, so we did not understand the paragraph. Which skills we can develop through bottom up? The bottom up is through teaching listening, through the bottom up strategies, we can teach our students to identify the word divisions in fast connected speech. When they listen in a real authentic material, they are unable to understand what the speaker is saying because it is a connected speech. It helps them to develop the skill of recognizing known words. Uh, it is helpful for the focus attention. It is for the grammar and vocabulary and detail of the language. The skill we get from the top down, that a person can inform, identify the topic, he can identify the speaker, he has the ability to predict and remember vocabularies, he can make a prediction, pictures and form pictures in his minds, he gets the ability to take notes and for the meaning through context. He must have the real life experiences because in real life we have to, when we encounter with some people, they uh, definitely they don't speak in a careful manner. Um, Sometimes we need to just have a gist. So it is very helpful in our real life. Classroom activities. Classroom activities. What will we do in our class? In our classroom, the activities that we can do for the students to teach them listening. The activities we can do with our students uh, to make them a good listeners. Uh, it must be listening news, dictator class, capsules, droid, putting a series of pictures or sequences of events in order, listening to conversation and identifying where they take place, uh, the speech of your favorite political leader, predict the content of a listening activity beforehand. Get your student to predict the content of a listening activity beforehand. Maybe using information about the topic or situation. uh, Keep this in your mind that the prediction in prediction we are predicting the content, and we can use the other activity that is called bingo. And bingo we predict the words. In bingo we can ask the students to draw a grid, a table with six or more boxes, play a piece of audio and tell them the topic of the audio. If you want, you can give a bit in information about the audio. Ask the students to write a word or phrase in each boxes that come in the audio, or what the thing that could become in the audio. Once they have completed their correct, play the audio. If the students hear a word or phrase he wrote in the grid, he should cross it. If one cross out all six he put on the grid, he will shout bingo. Right. Predicting vocabulary based on the topic. It starts off with a top down activity. Predicting based on what we already know about the topic. But during the actual listening phase, the focus is far more bottom up process. Now, come to the dictate class. What is this? Uh, Tell your students they are going to hear a short text. Short text means a few sentences or short paragraph. Ask them to just listen. Once it is done, ask your students to note down all the words they can remember, focusing on keywords, not all the sentences. Play it again and ask the students to work in pair and reconstruct as much text as they can. Repeat the process and ask them to compare their text to the original one. Initially, this activity is to be bottom up. However, when they are constructing the text using core text, it moves from bottom up to top down. Gapfiller uh, it's a very common activity. We do it often. Take a listening text and remove some of the word after playing the audio. The students and ask the students to fill in the gap. It is a standard bottom up approach. There's another activity that is not mentioned in the slide is a describe and draw it. Um, in that activity, we assign the student A to describe a room or a picture or people that is a grumpy or has a grin in face or the different mimes and gestures and anything your partner tell you to draw. And the student B is asked to listen to your partner actively. He can't be a passive listener and draw what your partner is saying. Listen to your partner actively and draw and ask any questions where necessary. Um, in this activity, we can use the follow the directions. Direction is definitely following the direction is definitely a bottom up strategy. Actually, in bottom up strategies in activities, bottom up activities are good to help your students uh, learn to look for the specific details. Now it's the question that what is good, the bottom up or the top down? Which strategy is good? What should we use to teach our learners, bottom up technique or the top down technique? Actually, the both are good. um, we see that some activities move from bottom up to top down and vice versa, often implies both simultaneously, and we believe that the successful listening depends on the ability to combine these two types of process. We have all done. I would like to leave you stating that thank you very much for being here. Uh, Thank you very much for your attention and your precious time. Thank you so much. Take care. Allah Hafiz.